Today's Toolbox Talk is on the truth about lye. We had about 4 run-ins in the last week and a half with people putting lye in their drains as a solution to cleaning out their plumbing. It wasn't successful, but it poses a significant health risk to us. Let's talk about it. Carmen Tartalon was a mother of 2. She's from the United Kingdom. She was a victim of a lye attack. Somebody poured lye all over her, thought it was a funny thing to do. You can see on the left-hand side, happy mother of 2. On the right side, pretty miserable mother of 2. Lye has that effect on our skin. Lye is really sodium hydroxide. Why this is significant is because it's a very powerful base that causes inhalation problems to us and significant burns. When I look up the safety data sheet for lye, it gives us in section number 2 the classification of the substance or the mixture, and it specifically says corrosive to metals or skin corrosion. That's pretty significant and something we need to be aware of, and we address that here today. The key word under section 2 of the pictogram is danger. The difference from caution to danger is caution says there may be a risk. Danger says there absolutely is one. And so it's important to understand that in the safety data sheet, we don't carry lye, but our customers have it. So it's important to talk about it today. It says specifically under the precautionary statements that don't breathe it in, wash your skin thoroughly after handling. I want to deal with the prevention side of this today because it causes severe skin burns and eye damage that's pretty much irreversible. So let's talk about the first aid side of it. It's important to understand that we need to protect ourselves with the PPE that we've been issued. And I cover that at the end, the specific PPE. The first aid, after inhalation, get some fresh air. Call a physician is what it says on the SDS. Make sure your general manager knows what's going on. I leave my phone number at the end of this for you to call me so that I can help you. Again, prevention, prevention, prevention. I don't want us to be in the first aid side of life because we've failed some of the other levels that we're going to talk about here today. But paying attention to lye and understanding that it is very, very dangerous, and it can cause severe burns, it can cause blindness, certainly respiratory irritation. If somebody is borderline asthmatic or asthmatic, this is going to present to them a very challenging time. It reacts with waters, it reacts with metals and organic material. It heats up to a significant temperature. It can cause toxic fumes. And so through the process of developing a program like this, I have created a job hazard analysis on dealing with lye so that I could present it in this particular fashion. If you would like a copy of the JHA for lye or any of the other JHAs that I have, please reach out to me. Again, my contact information is in the back. So we're going to take this step by step. So step number 1, it's important to assess the work area and customer report. It's important to be able to take a look around. You're looking for a bottle of lye. You're looking for a corrosion. You're looking for a white powdery substance. And you're looking to interview the customer to see if they have used lye. Is a great question to ask before you start getting into the pipe work. One of the hazards of this is the chemical residue, getting it on your face and anywhere on your skin. How you control that is, on this particular step number 1 of assessing, You're going to visually inspect for signs of lye. You're looking for corrosion. You're looking for residue. The second step is to prepare your tools and your personal protective equipment. Hazard of doing this in this step is you want to make sure that you're not choosing incorrect PPE, or the PPE that you're using is faulty. So how do you control this? You want to wear chemical resistant gloves. You want to be able to wear your face shield with eye protection. Those are two different things. And coveralls. Step number 3, you're going to turn off the water supply. With the water, the hazard that's presented is slips, trips, and falls. So far, a little bit more than 3/4 of our injuries at work have been related to slips, trips, and falls. So this is a real thing. The other hazard is when you could potentially come in contact with this contaminated water. So in order to avoid that, you want to make sure you have some absorbent pads with you in case you get any water anywhere. You're able to clean that up quickly. And to avoid slips, trips, and falls on wet surfaces, you want to make sure you have non-slip boots. So section 4, you want to disassemble the affected plumbing. The hazard associated with this is your skin coming in contact with the lye residue or inhalation. So a control measure is good ventilation. Make sure the windows are open, running a fan, making sure you're wearing an N95 respirator or better. Number 5, it's important to be able to remove that lye residue and debris, placing it somewhere that is not going to heat up or melt on the customer's counter or floor. So you want to be able to get that debris outside of the house as quickly and safely as possible. The hazard to removing lye, the debris and residue, is that you can come in contact with chemical burns and some biohazards. One of the control measures is you can use some vinegar. It'll break that down, or use citric acid. Citric acid is a little bit more challenging to find, but you want to avoid hand-to-face contact. Number 6, when you're repairing or replacing the damaged components, the hazard to this job is cuts from sharp objects, sharp tools, sharp pipe edges. And so your way that you control that is by wearing cut-resistant gloves. Step number 7, you're testing the system functionally. Does it work? Your hazards are exposures to lye-contaminated water. Your control measure is to flush the system with water before you're testing the functionality of the piping. And you're wearing all the PPE. You don't have to wear a hard hat. You don't have to wear a high-vis vest in a residential home. But the face shield, the safety glasses, cut-resistant gloves, your nitrile gloves, those are all really important pieces of PPE to use. Number 8, your cleanup and your decontamination. The hazard is cross-contaminating. You believe the job is done and you still have the contamination. The hazards that are associated with that is cross-contaminating, getting that lye residue on something else, getting it on your tool, screwdriver, pipe wrench, those types of things that you're going to put a bare hand on in the future by accident. You want to make sure all of that stuff is cleaned up. Control measures, you want to make sure you're washing your hands like a surgeon. Wash it very thoroughly, making sure soap and water you're getting in between the area between your fingers. You're getting into all the joints. You're getting under your nails. You want to rinse your hands thoroughly, dry them off. Make sure you're bagging up any kind of PPE that you've worn that has been contaminated with that water that has lye in it, or your tools. Those types of things were going to make you whole, but you need to isolate all of those things. The proper protective equipment that is required for this type of job chemical resistant gloves. That's the nitrile gloves, typically the black ones that we provide. You need to wear both safety glasses and a face shield, an N95 respirator or higher, full body coveralls that are chemical resistant, not a Dickie brand, not a Carhartt brand, but the kind that our water restoration department wears. For the slips, trips, and falls aspect of it, you want to wear non-slip rubber-soled boots. So before you get into all of this, it's important that you check out your PPE thoroughly for tears or any kinds of defects, because it's not going to do you any good to put on your gloves if there's a hole in it. It's not going to do you any good if there's a crack in your face shield. So you want to do this pre-operational inspection of your PPE. Secondly, you also want to verify the ventilation equipment is working properly before you need it on the job site. Before you take it into the customer's home, you want to make sure that it's working properly. Third, you want to ensure the neutralizing agent and the first aid supplies, the eye wash, those types of things are all on site before you begin. Having this mindset of a pre-operational inspection and checking through everything thoroughly is going to make this job a success. If you have any questions about the information that I presented here today, or you want to get a hold of the job hazard analysis, where it takes you step by step through the process, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. My phone number is 330-488-4141. Be safe out there.